Hello, this is Sirena Nereida with Celestial Soul Wellness, and as you can see, I'm not at typically where I usually am at home. In fact, I'm at a game. My son is waiting to play in a little bit, and me being a single mommy, I'm trying to accommodate everything, be a good astrologer, get things in a timely manner, and be supportive for my son. So, you might hear some yelling in the background, okay? You got lacrosse players over here, and you see the background of Downey High School. Okay, so going back to today, we're talking about today's new moon. The new moon is in Aries, all right? When we have the new moon, anytime it's conjunct the sun. When we have conjunct the sun, that is going to mean we do not see it because the sun blinds, all right? The sun blinds completely, over the moon. And if you see people behind me at any time walking by, just send them healing, loving light, okay? That would be great. Okay, so continuing, and I'm holding the stand, so if it's shaky or anything, I apologize. The patience is going to be a virtue today, okay? So, here we go. We got several things going on, but usually just a little bit about Aries. So it's at the end of Aries, okay? It's at 27 degrees. We go back to the next to 28 degrees. It's almost a critical degrees, and it's we're letting go, okay? This is a very self-involved time. People are not going to be so interested. I mean, they want relationships and everything, but they have their own agenda going on in those relationships. It's not because they're actually being supportive to someone else. So, be patient during these next 2 weeks. It's a time to develop yourself, give yourself inner support. Look to Mother Gaia, the trees, all right? Okay, the herbs, crystals, and just meditating for that time, because in this time you're getting opportunities, all right? I gotta move this just a little because there we go. How you guys like that? A little bit better? So it's a time of giving yourself opportunities to really develop yourself. Now, remember the new moon at Aries, it's the beginning of the zodiac. So what didn't get to happen during the eclipse is now going to happen for those who are waiting for some changes, okay? Woo! Did you guys like that? Nice, beautiful scenery there. Okay, there we go. It's a little bit better. So having those developments are important. Now, we have several things going on. You're going to see me looking down at my notes, okay? Thank you for your patience. We have Neptune that's conjunct Vesta, that's conjunct Amor, all in Pisces. What does that all mean? Well, first of all, we know that Neptune has been traveling in Pisces for a while. And Vesta, remember, Vesta is the hearth, the home of it. So we're seeing things blurry. We're not seeing the home environment as we really wish we were, or ourselves, okay? And not just that, it's amor. We're looking for something more deliciously romantic, okay? And on a deeper level, not just romance, but a love that is on a deeper level, almost like that. Oh, I'll give you an example. On the way here, I was driving my son, we were driving here to the game, and I love, a lot of you know I'm German also, besides Latina. And so I was like, oh, Nina, 99 Luftballon. So I Shazammed it, not because I didn't know the song, but because I go, I tell my son, Shazam, and he looks at me, he's like, all right. And he holds up the lyrics so that way I could drive and focus on the traffic and still sing. What does that have to do with Neptune and Vesta and Amor right there? That is something of really showing how people will show the love. And I looked at him after the song, you really love your mommy, because he knows when I sing in the car, I get all into it, and he just really supported and brought that out, and that creativity, and Piscean is a very, dramatic and loves music. So it was just like, oh, look at that. And then, 99 Luftballon going with that is very good with the, that's with that idea with Piscean, because it's out away from where we are now. Well, anyway, let's continue on, okay? So now we also have Neptune in Pisces squaring Venus in Gemini. So a lot of people think the attention that we're getting And if I talk really quickly today, I apologize, but I'm on watching for his game to start, okay? So, again, we have Neptune in Pisces squaring Venus in Gemini. So a lot of talk is happening. You know, people are like, oh, I love you, I love you. Oh, this is so nice. Hey, so what's your number? You know, and Neptune being in there. So a lot of people are misinterpreting people's approaches. This is a very friendly time. Okay. In fact, if you have Venus anywhere, this is opportunity of two. So two developing, just like people who have their Venus in their natal report, in their natal charts in Gemini, usually will have two loves, or if they have it in their third house, they can love more than one person at a time. Yes, it's possible. I know some of you are like, oh, that is bad. No, just because you can't do it doesn't mean no one else can, and doesn't mean it's bad, okay? And just because you don't understand it doesn't mean it's bad. All right, don't let ignorance overtake your spectrum. So anyway, so this is a lot of time that people are misinterpreting that someone's friendly mood is one of love, and that's not necessarily so. So be friendly, know the difference. Being friendly is just livening up the atmosphere, but being flirtatious is with the intent of getting laid. What do I mean by that? Well, if you have sexual innuendos while you're having a conversation and being friendly, that's with the intent of being laid, because any kind of sexual innuendo is you are trying to entice someone. If you're trying to entice someone, it's because you want to exchange sexual energy with them. Also be very careful who you're exchanging sexual energy, because you are opening yourself to those, especially during portal times like the new moon and full moon. You are allowing emotional and energetic hooks to get in you and with them. So sometimes it's best just to take care of yourself instead of giving of yourself unnecessarily, okay? Because that is you are opening and hooking there, and you got to make sure you're doing it with someone very positive and beautiful, especially those people who can separate sex from love. You want to make sure that you are still understanding that you are exchanging energy, and it needs to be positive and have a growth and leave everybody feeling good at the end. So those of you who are into, you know, one-on-one, you know, noches divertidas, you know, night of fun or time of fun, please make sure that it's understood, okay? And that what you're doing, so that way it could be something positive and not negative. Going on, we have also Mercury that's conjunct Mars in Taurus, and just so you know, it's also conjunct Eros, all right? So I have here in my notes, let's see here, passions and communication need to feel, okay, the sensuality, all right? Because if not, it becomes ego-driven self-gratification, and we need to be careful of that, because especially since Mars really rules Aries and Scorpio, but it loves the sensuality, and Taurus is all about gratifying all those different senses, the touch, the taste, the feel, you know, all those different kinds. It's not, sensuality and sexuality are two different things. Don't get them confused. So here we have another opportunity of expressing our other side of love, you can say, because like Plato says, there's 9 different levels of love, and if you don't understand that, you're going to get really confused, and it's something that needs to be taught to your children and to you, so that way no one is hurt, and when someone tells you I love you and you're like, yeah, right, not the way I want to be loved. Well, remember, did you teach them how to love you? If you don't know how you need to be loved, step back, get off your soapbox, stop telling people that you didn't love me, because then you didn't tell them how to love you. Okay, wah, complaining, victim, new dimension. We don't do that. That's first stage masculine, feminine essence, not third stage, all right? So very important. Let's continue here. We also have, ooh, how nice. We got Venus conjunct Nereida. Very poetic time. Again, this is a nice time to do a lot of talking and writing and expressing verbally. love and romance and appreciation and the sensuality, but it's not necessarily a time to make commitments. Okay, it's not a time to cement anything. All right, so this is a very enticing time. Okay, and but you're not going to base your life on it. So also too, we have Venus that is sextile Jupiter, so there is a time, you know, that there's support again for that. And so again, the Leos and the Lioness and the Lions love to hear compliments. They love to get all that, you know, and they love the admiration. All right, and it'll expand our generosity very much. Leos are very generous, you know. Not only do they appreciate all that energy that they receive in admiration and love, they are so giving. I mean, they right away usually would pick up the bill, you know, before way before Capricorn or Virgo or Taurus will. That's for sure. Okay, they like to see everybody happy and enjoying themselves. So, you know, that is one nice thing about Leos is they do appreciate. Yes, they do start for the light, but they also give in their generosity. And what's going on here is Venus in the sextile, it's supporting that. And so this is a time of just sharing and enjoying and being a little bit superficial, you know. We're not here cementing any philosophical ideas and making forth going, okay? And this is not the time to get married or anything like that. Remember, we do have Pluto retrograde, and then Saturn is still retrograde. Anything started at this time, you know, make temporary commitments only, because you have everything. Saturn being retrograde is going to make it difficult. So then you can recommit or elongate that contract after August 1st. Okay, so continuing. Nereida is sextile. Okay, it's sextile. I'm trying to look at my notes. Okay, for sure Nereida is trying the North Node again. So we do have positive, you know, things to say. So we're not really seeing an opportunity to be physically close by one another, you know, in your relationships and your loved ones, but you are seeing an opportunity to communicate a lot, okay? And that is nice. And when we communicate, you know, when people are far away from one another, it keeps it together. Always remember, especially men, remember that your oxytocin only lasts 72 hours after, you know, climaxing, where a woman lasts 21 days. Okay, and that's mostly also because the same oxytocin is released when she breastfeeds. So what does that mean is that sometimes you break, you know, so and especially if the female, now be aware, you know, women who are in their past their prime, or I shouldn't say past, we're always in our prime, okay? Women who are in their 40s are now starting to develop more testosterone and less estrogen, where you're developing more estrogen. And so if you see them distancing themselves, it is your obligation, gentlemen, of making that connection again, okay, because of that testosterone. All right, because if not, they'll just, you know, and because of that testosterone too, the older women can, or the more developed and mature women can separate sex from love, you know, or any woman who has more masculine essence instead of feminine essence. And those are the ones that have more masculine signs in them, or their Mars is in a masculine sign or a masculine section of their chart, okay? We have Manglik women, in other words. Okay, we also have Mars that is trine Black Moon Lilith, all right? So, a sextile Chiron. And so we got a lot of stuff going on there, you know. It's not going to be a manipulative time. This is supportive for once, you know. Black Moon Lilith is not going to be causing problems, but it's actually going to be supportive here. And so usually we find Black Moon Lilith with a different agenda. In this case, it's not happening, you know. And it's also sextile Lilith itself. So wow, you know, it's almost like all the Liliths are having an joint agenda for once and not being all over the place. Okay, here we got the moon and the sun in conjunct Saturn. So if you are looking for attention from authorities, you know, or father figures and things like that, it's probably not going to happen during these next 2 weeks. It's going to be a little bit more difficult. It's just a little bit indifference, even types of separation. Remember, we got Saturn rules Capricorns and Aquarius, which can separate themselves. I know me, as I have my moon in Aquarius, so I can separate myself. And people are like, you haven't been around so long, this and that. It's like, I had other things going on, you know. And so don't take it so personal, especially if you are a water sign, okay, or a Taurus or Leo who needs that you know, that constant attention, you know, so don't take it so personal. It's just the times, remember. Also, too, just remember that we got Pluto that's going retrograde on Friday, and when it goes retrograde, you know, it's not the time to start again solidifying any commitments or contracts, vows, or agreements. You know, this is a time to be, it's introspective. So all these energies are coming up from inside, okay? And you're getting an opportunity, we are getting an opportunity to really look within ourselves and how to develop stuff. And I'll give you an idea. I know sometimes we feel a transit before that it happens, okay? Up to when it happens, more than after. And I'm gonna sneeze right now. Excuse me. Sorry. I saw, like, you know, when my son at the last minute was like, hey, mommy, can you take me to the game early? And I was like, early? What do you mean? I got work to do, you know. This is my life, this is my career, this is my job, and this is my passion, my sole purpose, you know. And so at the same time, I didn't want him to feel bad. He's my son. He has opportunities. So I said, okay, let me think. I took a bath and I was like, all right, God, give me, you know, a sign what I'm supposed to do. So I packed it all here and, you know, broke the routine and brought it here, and we're trying something new. You guys give me some feedback how you like it, okay? So now we have Juno trine Saturn, okay? And once again, that's good because Juno is going to be supportive of that authority figure, you know, and also being trine there because it is in Leo. It's going to want that passion, but it's going to understand that it's almost a passion with you know, the universe, the cosmos, and the higher philosophies, and the Palladians, and Melchizedek, and you know, and Series A, B, you know, and so it's not just one, the passion's here, and it's understanding how supportive it can be in creating that stability with our philosophies. And this is, so what I'm trying to say is this is a time in which we're going to realize more and more that life is not all about going to work, making money, and that's it, you know, and friends and family. Yeah, that sounds kind of sad, but we do grow through our relationships, but mostly it's about connecting to our soul purpose, understanding that obstacles, okay, have to happen so we grow. Get off of your soapbox about complaining. If you're complaining, that's just your negative way of reacting to a situation. You haven't grown up yet. You're still being immature. And, you know, when you react in a way that's like, oh, it's an opportunity, or oh, this is different, okay, or God guide me because I don't know how to do this one, but you realize it's an opportunity, that is showing maturity. Everybody thinks adulthood has to deal with turning 18. Yeah, that all it means is you know, you could go to jail for doing certain things. But I know a lot of adults who are not mature, and as a life coach, I can attest to that. And I do know a lot of you know, adults who are not responsible. So responsibility is taking control and disciplining your reactions. And I know, because when I was younger and when I was married, I used to tell my ex-husband, it's like, I'm just reacting to your actions. Well, if I were really, you know, had been developed at that time, that was almost a lifetime ago. But I can laugh at myself. If I were me now looking at myself back then, I was like, yeah, you're reacting. That doesn't give you a right. His actions don't give you a right to be immature. So, and be all drama. So, you know, we had to just calm ourselves and say, this needs to be done. And if, you know, you notice the people in your loving surroundings are not being grounded, you know, go ahead, remove yourself. Just be polite. Tell them you'll come back to it, you know, later on that day, or maybe within, you know, 2 days, give it a break and say, you know, I see that you need some time alone, that your energies are all over the place, and you need to ground yourself. Remind them it's okay. And especially people who have more feminine essence than masculine essence, you're going to flip faster. That's the shadow side of the feminine essence, is the storm, all right? And so that's why they say a lot of females are drama. It's because the way they react, because they do not ground themselves. Some good grounding material right now would be, because we're in Aries. I talk about that later in the crystals, okay? Almost went off on a tangent. So here we go. We have Jupiter. It's in conjunct Pluto also. So again, we might, you know, feel that what's going on is really serving us a purpose psychologically. We're like, oh no, let's just get over it. My emotions, let's just get over it. But remember, the more you deny acknowledgement to your emotions and psyche, then the more it starts festering in your organs. And remember that every organ collects certain types of emotions, and then you wonder why you have breast cancer, why you have prostate cancer, why you have problems with your liver or your stomach, because you're festering, you're allowing certain emotions there. And a lot of people don't want to deal with these emotions because they're afraid of crying the pain. But let me tell you, once you get it all out, that's it. You won't feel it again. And as a healer, I can tell you, let me tell you, every healer is a healer because there are major things we needed to go through. So we totally can sympathize, not just empathize, we can sympathize with you, that pain, but it needs to happen to let it go. Okay, so some more. We got Neptune, that is Uranus, that is trying Jupiter. So we are getting sudden things happening, and it's going to be in a grandiose way, but we can handle it, and it's opportunities. I know people say, is that good or bad? Remember, good or bad is a matter of perspective, and if you look at everything as an opportunity, every loss is an opportunity for something better. Remember that every block or obstacle is an opportunity to grow and to see how clever you are. You know, I mean, I could have just said to myself, oh, well, I'm not going to go to your game. Well, that would have been like, I don't love them. Or I can say, you guys forget it. You know, I'm not going to do, you know, the astrology. And sometimes I've had to have that choice, but now I'm learning to see that I can do both and make everyone happy. Well, not necessarily, you know. Maybe the trees don't like this energy. Who knows? They're good. You know, trees have always been my friends. So now continuing, we have, let's see here. We have Aries sextile Saturn, and also Reiki, that is square Saturn. Okay, plus we have this Venus square Reiki and square Nesu. So this is a mutable cross, okay, plane. So playing victim and blaming others. How we are showing love is very fickle, with two sides, making it easy to play the victim, yet not healing. Very important, okay? I actually did researching on all those and how they would interconnect, because I knew it was something important, and many people are not going to mention this mutable cross because they don't include asteroids, but it's very important to remember, you know, so how things are going there, especially with love. So I did mention already that, Moon and Sun are trying Reiki, so this is time for independent healing and not necessarily through our relationship. So go ahead, take some time, take some responsibility for yourself, discipline yourself, watch what you eat, make sure you're drinking a lot of alkaline and spring water. No purified water, exactly. No purified water. You have better luck drinking tap water. Make sure you're wearing your necessary crystals for grounding at this time, and make sure you're eating, you know, alkalized meals. Remember, a lot of people do eat good things, but they're eating, combining it incorrectly, which creates acid and disease in their body. So, and this is what I have for right now. It's a great time, in other words, going back for you to self-develop yourself and to really focus on yourself. No one would take it personally, you know. They're probably doing the same thing. And, you know, it's good to be friendly. Be careful of the flirtatiousness, okay? I say that, you know, since there is... you know, a little bit of roughness availability out there, especially with Nesu, you know, being 2 degrees right there. So it's sextile Eros and Mercury, so be careful there, you know, watching what's going on. But enjoy yourself most definitely. Okay, so I do have some other notes I brought real quickly that I have seen. Okay, this is a perigee moon, you know, so you're going to feel it a little bit more than others. And we talked about Pluto stationing, you know, and it's stationing at 15 degrees Capricorn. So all those who have, you know, their earth sign within 5 degrees of 15 degrees, so between 10 and 20 degrees of an earth sign or a cardinal sign, you're going to feel this a lot, all right? And so then also we have a, let's see here, Mars is square Jupiter at 12 degrees, so it's stationing, okay? So we got Jupiter that's stationing pretty soon, in a couple of days. Let's see, on the 18th, okay? So legal and financial property issues are gonna arise, you know? We might see extreme weather. And then moving on, we have, let's see here, we talked about Venus being square Neptune. So, you know, secrets about affairs and stuff coming out, tension, resistance, and not seeing things clearly, obstacles regarding your affairs. On the 20th, you know, the sun does enter Saturn. And I have to put my foot down here. I can't put it up because then I can't read the notes. As you can see, my hair's flying all over the place. And I apologize for this. Oh, who cares? I don't apologize. It's life. Let's enjoy it. So, let's see here. We talked about, you know, be careful of overindulgence also because of Mercury, you know, opening up our mouths, squaring off Jupiter. We're not going to have a good time after it. Bloatedness, hangovers, dehydrating. Okay, so be careful with that, especially because you got Mercury, you know, they're both in, they're being squared, okay? So you might feel like you're not getting enough and then it hits you later. So also know, April 22nd starts the Lyrid meteor shower. Yay! This is when I take a group of my nephews and nieces up to the canyons and mountains there in middle of the night, and we sit on top of the hood of the car, warm ourselves up, and with some hot chocolate. Well, I take tea, you know, and they take beef jerky, and hopefully we don't attract any animals, so I don't let them put trash, but we get to see all, you know, we count to see all the meteor showers. Is also an opportunity to see better the ETs out there, okay, communicate. So we do have also too, because of Mercury conjunct Mars at that time in Taurus, you know, it's a lot of stubbornness, ego, pride, you know, discussions, arguments, and disagreements, and it's because of ego, pride, not because of necessary logic. So don't feel bad. A lot of impatience. Let me see here. Anything else? You know, okay. Or let's see here. For some people, about a week or two, there are going to be some times that they feel that they need to move. Again, don't make any hasty decisions, you know, also too, because we're still feeling the effects from the eclipse. You know, we have had such a season, and people learning new things and finding new things. I'm going to put this away before it flies away, okay? And so, and that is something to consider positive. Okay, so please continue watching the rest of the program. You know, again, you see the other parts for the chakras and health, and the crystals and food and herbs, and it's all good for you. Remember, you know, it's good to take care of yourself. It is healthy. It's if you really love your loved ones. Maybe you don't love yourself enough, but if you love your loved ones, then take care of yourself, okay? That's really, really important, because your gift, more than love itself, is being there and available for them, okay? So you allowing yourself to get sick, especially if you're a parent, is not fair to your children, especially if it's a chronic disease or something major, okay? You're taking time away from them, and that's not fair to them. Okay, much love. This is Sirena Nereida with Celestial Soul Wellness. Thank you for watching the show. Thank you always for subscribing. Please encourage other people to subscribe. Thank you for all your donations, and you're more than welcome to contact me, you know, at Sirena, Celestial Soul Wellness at gmail.com. Something's going on with my site. I got to figure it out, you know, or contact me, you know, and text me. That's fine. And I'm always appreciative of all donations also, because your donations make these videos possible, okay? Because I take time out to do these reports and effort from possibilities of having clients, and also from being with my son and my beautiful family, okay? So anyway, chaucito, this is Sirena Nereida. Have a wonderful new moon.